Previously on the Devil's content.
What's that, Mr. Shadow?
Please, sir, spare me. I haven't seen my family in years. You took them from me. How could you?
Oh, I see. Oh, the fan base hates the new Ninja Theory game. If you don't know why I'm laughing, I think that perfectly encapsulates what I'm doing. It looks trash, it looks awful, it looks bad. But guys, this is an extremely opinionated video. Guys, don't hate on me, please. Why is it trash? Oh, Fortnite has gun. Like Fortnite. No, fuck off. Come on. Opinionated video, just like I said. Guys. I said it looks like trash. But guys, it's extremely opinionated. Come on, guys. Come on, just relax here. Just stay with me. It's very opinionated. Do I have anything to back up these opinionated claims? No. Really now? You might be thinking this too emotional, and your emotional side is overtaking your logical side of your brain. Really? That's crazy. Because all the times you said and you called it trash, I was totally on board with you. I really love the fact how you didn't back up any objective elements. But boy oh boy, I have another video for you. Let's move on to the next video. Ninja Theory is making a fighting game. What? He even fucked up the title. Okay. Ninja Theory's okay, I'm not fucking with you really. Ninja Theory's making a fighter game. A fighter game. Not an action game, not a hack and slash game. No. You see, my friend, they're making a fighter game. Anyway, and then he puts in all caps, what? Question mark, explanation point, question mark, explanation point. Very in-depth. Anyway, this one's a bit longer, so I'll try and do my best to actually talk when need be. On with the video.
The cinema knows that there is no going back to how things were. That there is nothing to go back to at all.
Hey guys, this is Gamu, and we got a pretty big, huge pre-E3 leak today, and
again, just because they're making one multiplayer game that they have been working years on does not mean that their single-player games are dead. Again, where is Tamim? He's literally been working with Ninja Theory since pretty much day one. And he's just not working on this project. I wonder, could it be Tamim is working on something else? Since he really loves single-player games and single-player experiences. I'm scratching my beard so hard.
this is to be expected because every year going to E3, there are tons of games that get leaked. This is just par for the course at this point. But the leak today is kind of interesting because Ninja Theory is working on a 4v4 melee multiplayer game called Bleeding Edge, which this is kind of weird because Ninja Theory is known for like really dope single-player story-driven action games. Games like Devil May Cry and Enslaved Odyssey to the West from about 10 years ago. And even more recently, you've got Senua's Sacrifice. This is like a great single-player, independent, story-driven action game. And really, this game brought a lot of hope to single-player gamers who really thought like the single-player game was dead, and especially the independent single-player game was dead.
I don't think that it was a big breakthrough for single-player games experiences. No, again, single-player games are certainly still alive. They are certainly more common than ever, especially. They're certainly not nearly as common as multiplayer games. So, let alone thriving multiplayer games at that. So I don't know why this was a huge win all of a sudden for single-player games. I thought this was a huge win because a small company, after all the difficult odds and after all the bumpy roads that were going through their company's development, making nearly like the one game that they might not even recover from if it didn't do well, and wound up making a success. I thought we were behind them because it was a success story for small developers. That's what I thought that this was for, but I guess not.
Senua's Sacrifice was like just a gem out there where we had so much publisher messed up games. And I can tell you, the internet isn't too happy about this game coming out. We got tweets like, ooh, Ninja Theory is trending right now before E3. Let's have a look. Xbox needs some third-person narrative-driven action game. Oh, okay. And even tweets like this, Ninja Theory, we believe in single-player experiences, and that's why we made Hellblade, and we made it on our own without finance. Also, Ninja Theory signs up with Microsoft, who orders them to make a 4v4 fighting game.
Oh boy. Twitter. Yes, the place where I go for all my expert sense of commentary. Yes, of course. Also, I would also mention the fact that if you're going to show that the internet's very angry, which I certainly would agree with that point. I certainly would have put something that has a tweet that says, if I'm reading this right, 1 retweet and 5 likes. Yes, the internet is storming with that tweet. Clearly at the front lines, storming the gates, of Ninja Theory with that one meme tweet. Very much so.
Now, if you don't know what the heck they're talking about, last year at E3, Microsoft announced that they were buying a bunch of studios. Microsoft was tired of you guys accusing them of not having any good exclusives. Everybody was running to the PS4, and they just weren't having it anymore. And instead of just cranking out more exclusives or buying them, they just bought up the whole studio. They bought up studios like Mohang, who created Minecraft. They bought up Rare, who was making Sea of Thieves, which made a huge comeback recently. And even Ninja Theory, of course, we're talking about them. And even later that year, they bought up a studio called In Exile that was making Wasteland 2. And of course, Obsidian. You've heard of them. They made games like Fallout New Vegas and Knights of the Old Republic. And you really can't even be mad at these tweets because the writing seems like it's on the wall. Rip independent, story-driven games. And it seems like Microsoft is causing that, at least on the surface.
They're not killing. The only situation where I would see this problem happening, where oh no, single players are dead, would be the whole Scalebound situation. Then I'd get pissed with something like that. But this is a very different situation with very different things. Also, one of the reasons why they canceled Scalebound was because a big Asian man, that's what I call him, the first creator of Devil May Cry, made Scalebound. He's very, very, very naughty when it comes to playing nice with the big tech companies. Microsoft wanted one multiplayer thing. He said, no bueno, fuck you. And that was the end of that project, and the end of that marriage as well. So Scalebound is kind of dead because, well, really, it was because of 2 stubborn studios. Much like my parents, stuck in divorce, and me, stuck forever in this void that I call hell. Continue. Okay, let's just skip through all this. He's pretty much just breaking down the trailer.
So my thoughts on this, and trust me, I'm going to be fair to both sides because, man, I totally see 2 sides of this. I kind of lean a little bit further to the upset side. All right.
Oh, the upset side. Oh boy. Why is that, dear narrator? Please tell me why this is.
So to the people out there who are tired of big publisher games, big PvE publisher games, and loot boxes and all of this crazy stuff, and really the abandonment of the single player game going towards the multiplayer game, the battle royale.
I thought that we were behind Ninja Theory because they made good experiences of games, not just because of big company bad. While yes, I can certainly see some of that argument pave the way, I don't think that's what we were supposed to be behind Ninja Theory for. I think we were supposed to be behind smaller developers making their games out there and putting whatever they want creatively in front of it all. And I thought that we were going to be behind that. But it's kind of hard to believe that when they're making something that they clearly want to for the sake of creativity, something that they want to devote their passion to, and you guys are getting frustrated over it.
And really the abandonment of the single player game going towards the multiplayer game, the battle royale, the endless live service game. A lot of people are tired of gaming leaning so heavily that way because they can monetize consistently that people were really excited when Ninja Theory put out Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice, because here you had proof that the single player game was still viable. People still wanted single player games and they bought that game as much as possible. And also beyond that just being a single player game, people were super excited because this was an independent studio free from the craziness of like EA and Activision and all this crazy crap of them just trying to monetize and not really focused on the single player, single gamer experience.
Yes and no. Well, and in fact, Hellblade was a breaking of the mold for a lot of reasons. Mostly because the previous 3 games had a lot of creative stigma on them. In fact, DMC Devil May Cry, in particular, the DMC reboot, had a lot of issues due to the company getting involved way more than they should have. So I don't know if we were saying that that Ninja Theory was exactly free from all these experiences, because like I said, they're very tough. They're one of the very few people out there that can maintain the way that they did, and they do need big corporate entities. In fact, for making Hellblade, they didn't just do it all in just a few days and they isolated themselves from the rest of the world. No, they had to take a small portion of the development team, because the bigger development team were working on other games that big companies were forcing them under. So so much of a misunderstanding between these people. It's like, what do we support Ninja Theory to begin with if we have people like this?
When was the last time you sat down with just a game, not a multiplayer game, not a competitive game, and just played a story throughout? And a lot of people were saying they weren't getting enough games like that.
We're not getting enough single player games? Excuse me? Am I hold on. Okay, so no single player games. So let me see this right. Let me take my glasses off. Let me see. We got Death Stranding. That's coming soon. Gears 5. We've got Control. We've got Days Gone. We've got Metro Exodus. A pretty good game, by the way. Kingdom Hearts 3. We've got Darksiders 3. We've got Hitman 2. Oh, we've got Red Dead Redemption 2. That was a pretty good game. We've got Spider-Man, all those others that released. I mean, we've got Detroit Become Human. We got The Kingdom Come Deliverance. I mean, some of these games, while yes, they may have been released a while ago. We also have DMC 5. You remember that game that not a lot of people thought would return? I find that very funny. Anyway, I just think that that's funny. What do you mean we're not getting single player games? What the fuck are you talking about? And what do you think we're getting in an abundance of multiplayer games? I mean, yeah, I'm sure if you're like a Ubisoft fan, yeah, sure, that I can see that being a problem. But we live in quite a world where we have quite a bit of single player games. I mean, again, Sony having a lot of Sony exclusives that are very narrative experiences. What is he on about?
So, man, I can totally understand the frustration when the perfect example of an independent single-player game gets bought up by Microsoft, and then all of a sudden they're putting out a live service, multiplayer, PvP, almost battle-like experience. Like, that's definitely disheartening to the people who were hoping to see more single-player experiences.
Well, maybe because they were working on this experience for a while now and want to use Xbox to help them out.
Now, does this mean that they won't continue to put out games like Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice? Call me optimistic, and oh my god, I'm just going to be optimistic when I move here. It's hard for me to believe that Microsoft would buy the studio, have them create this game, and then not give them the creative freedom later to put out other games like that. Why would you buy up a single-player studio just to have them put out a multiplayer game and not really go back to what the studio's good at? Now, what's their motivation for even having them make this game? I don't know, but I'm just trying to be optimistic. I really hope they can go back to games like Hellblade at some point. I'm just trying to be positive here.
So they have them they bought them, right? So, I mean, they did buy them after all, and said that they were, one of them mostly because they worked on single-player experiences. Could be that they're probably working on single experiences. I mean, we haven't seen Tameen, so I wonder.
The reality is, if they continue to make things like that, or if this game isn't successful and then they brutalize the game in the same way that EA would brutalize a studio who didn't or wasn't successful with the game that they asked them to make, I'm just afraid that that would hurt the studio. I'm hoping that that's not what it comes to.
Why would Xbox want to brutalize them? Why? This isn't EA, you realize that, right? And EA probably wouldn't buy them out in the first place if they didn't have some kind of single-player use for them.
But here's the positive side. I am optimistic because I am looking forward to more arena-based PvP games, especially third-person like this, because I think even though the genre is cluttered with things like Overwatch and other arena games, I still think there's space for something unique and different, and this looks almost unique and different enough to catch the interest of people.
Oh my god. I think he might actually understand. He's actually understanding that this is probably different from a lot of the games that are coming out currently, especially multiplayer ones. I mean, it has melee, it has a lot of action, combat design, it has a lot of influences from the creative director of DMC Devil May Cry. Can you believe? Oh, fucking hell. Who cares? And ladies and gentlemen, for my final thoughts on this, I'm gonna get real with you. The reason why that we supported, or at least I thought the reason why we supported people like Ninja Theory, was that we were supposed to help out a small company to let them do what they want creatively, and that we wouldn't have any change in bounds because they made good quality experiences. That's what I thought that we were doing. Apparently that's not what we were doing. We decided to create fake outrage over things that aren't there. It's really sad that people are like pretty much dunking on this game for pretty much no reason, with very little proof or evidence. They just say, hey, it's bad, and why is it bad? We don't know. I've been your Ninja Theory Guardian, Splinter. I don't care anymore. Subscribe if you want to kill yourself. I don't know. I was going to work on a new project for this weekend, but this took priority. Thanks. I was hoping that this wouldn't be as late as it is, but anyway, I had to get this all sorted out. I just think that it's retarded, because then I've also seen comments that say the most dumbest things. It's like, Ninja Theory is dead, blah, 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 they're the death of us. Shut up, please. They're making something that they want to because they're very creatively inspired by it, and they want to take a chance. And the creative director which is very impassionate about this type of experience, and the people that are working on it seem very impassionate about it. Want to do this because it's something that they've been sitting on for a while, and they want to finally finish it. I don't know how to end this video other than that. I think that was a pretty good statement to follow up on. I'm already out of costume. I was going to do something, but I can't anymore. I was going to work on other videos, like I said, but I guess I have to work on this now. Jesus Christ. The raw footage is already more than 43 minutes. This is going to be a nightmare to edit. I don't even know if I want to use gameplay or not. Fucking kill me. I want to fucking die. Subscribe for more content. I want to play this game as soon as it comes out. I'm probably going to shoot some raw footage or something like that. Show some of my impressions. I'm probably going to do a review as soon as this thing comes out. I want to play it as best as possible. They're just doing a small beta alpha type thing. So as soon as they get it all finished out, I want to play it. I'm going to have a few friends that are obviously going to play it, that are obviously big Ninja Theory fanboys just like me. I've been your host, the Ninja Theory Guardian. Yeah, sure. I have fought many things against Ninja Theory, which I think is totally unfair, because they're like the ultimate success story. They've been through the ups and downs of like having to work for a corporate entity for so long, and I thought that we were supposed to be behind them so that they can help improve themselves and work better. But if anybody was already upset at the fact that, oh no, Microsoft already has like control over them or whatever because they're making multiplayer games, then let me explain. Why was people so happy originally when they got bought out? Once they made the announcement that they were getting bought out, everybody was like, yay, cool, nice, awesome, they've acquired them, they're cool and stuff. All of a sudden, like, they make a multiplayer game that they themselves want, and it's like, fucking dare they. What do I want? Nothing. I don't know. I'm gonna hang myself with my own necklace. And remember, guys, Hitler did nothing wrong.